everything that we've been saying from the beginning of flowing through Esther's mouth or fingers, everything that we've been saying has been about helping you to release the resistance, which is what caring about what other people think is all about. If you're looking for something that might get you there faster, it would be the meditation CD. Let's talk about this subject of caring about what other people think. So you come into this experience and you are smaller than they are and you can't get your own food, and so there is a clear dependency that you have for survival, really. And well-meaning people around you have been surviving for a while, and for the most part, there are a few exceptions to this. They really care about you. You just got here, and they want things to go well for you, and they feel it important to tell you what they have learned. Most of them have been practicing some resistant thoughts, and so they warn you about the things that could trip you up or that could get in your way. And you're together a lot, and you see a range of emotions within them. Now you're new to this game, and you love feeling good and do. So you're gravitating toward what feels good. So when those around you are laughing, you feel good. When they're playful, you feel good. When they're appreciating, you feel good. When they're loving, you feel good. And without meaning to, you sort of assign them the role of your guidance system, where you start getting feedback from them. Now, if you have the benefit of having been born into a family that's feeling pretty good, someone who's feeling mostly love, then they might be a good reflector for you. But most everybody's sort of up and all around, and the most significant thing is they were not born to serve you, and you are not their only object of attention. Hear this. You all came for your own exposure to life, and no one was assigned your keeper. Not your mother, not your father. No one was assigned your keeper. But you sort of wanted them to be that because you got feedback from them. Well, for a while you got it from them, then you started getting it from your playmates, then you get it from your lovers. In other words, you're wanting positive response from others. That's just natural. But all along, you had a guidance system within you that was helping you to know when you were on track with what would serve you and when you weren't, you see. So it wasn't as complicated as you made it out to be. The missing piece for most people is you didn't realize that while many of you accept that you were something before you were this, that there was something before you were born into this body, most of you did not realize that that source energy, that is you, still remains non-physically focused while some of it is focused within you. You did not realize the relationship between the source that is you and the human consciousness focused one here and now. Once you get those two factors in place, then and only then can you really understand your guidance system, you see. And so now you've got that. The thing that is so interesting to us is that long after you get that, long after you realize that when you focus this way you feel good and when you focus that way you feel bad. If you want to practice this a little bit, pick out someone, anyone, and focus upon the things that you love most about them and feel how you fill up with source. And then take that same person and focus upon the things that you like least about them and feel yourself getting pinched off from source. In other words, it's really easy to determine your alignment, your allowing, or your resistance, your disallowing. So now you know about that guidance system. And you know that it's present in every moment, because in every moment, this is why, hear this. If you hear only this, hear this. The reason that you ever feel any emotion is because source, doesn't matter what you want to call that, is right there thinking about the same thing you're thinking about in the same moment that you're thinking about it, from the perspective that source holds about it. You never, ever, ever think a thought that source isn't right there thinking a thought about the same thing at the same time. Ooh, Did you get that? That's why when you're in sync with the thought that Source has, you are full of that which feels good. And when you're out of alignment with it, you feel bad. So let's think some thoughts. I'm not very good at this. How does that feel? So what does that tell you that Source thinks about that thought? I'm not a good person. How does that feel? What does that tell you that Source is thinking about that thought? Life is good. How does that thought feel? What does that tell you that Source thinks about that thought? Aren't you sorry you put all that on your mother? Because sometimes your mother thought that life wasn't so good, and sometimes your mother was mad about this and that and the other. And when you look to her for your sense of guidance, she was out to lunch often, you see. And that's why you resent her, some of you, is because you wanted to feel good with everything that you are, and you relied on an unreliable source to feel good. But you can rely on Source, you see. And when you do, then all of the conditions become irrelevant, and you can live unconditional love. And when you do, now you're practicing a consistent vibration. So now let's take this further. When you are in alignment with Source, we can't even describe to you in any practical terms that you can get your mind around the power of that alignment, the effectiveness of being tuned in like that. Tuned in, tapped in, turned on. No resistance within you. Focusing on that, and there it is. And focus on that, and there it is. Guidance all day, every day. Source knowing who you are and what you want about every single detail and exactly where you stand in relationship to everywhere and everything and everyone you want, and knowing the exact path of least resistance to guide you. And if you're just chilling out, if you're feeling easy, if you've been meditating, if you've been appreciating, if you've been feeling love, if you are in a state of non-resistance, that path lights up, that path lights up, that path lights up, that path lights up. So you're not just happy at the end of the path, you're happy every step along the path. And it's important to know there is no ending to the path, because when you get to where you thought you were going, there's a whole other path just stretched out in front of you. You're not ever going to get it done, you see. You're not ever going to get it done.
Or wrong.
Or wrong. And in that state of alignment, you are replenished constantly replenished, you see. And then you look at your mother or at anyone who is, for whatever reason, feeling and therefore displaying disapproval to you. And you're not affected by it because you weren't counting on their approval for your sustenance anyway. So you stand there even in their disapproval and just love them back. Just understand them back. Just give them the benefit of the doubt back. Just appreciate where they're at. Just make no big deal about it. Just don't be the drum of it. Just love them back. Somebody really mad at you and coming after you, if you're in that place where you're not drawn into whatever they're in and you stand there in love and you just look at them, their anger will dissipate right before you, because their anger cannot abide in the vibration of that kind of alignment. But you got to practice to get that kind of alignment, you see. And then things just fall away that are unwanted, while things just fill in that are wanted. Nice to know, huh? And so, at this point of our conversation with our dear physical friends, we're spending more time than anything talking about your point of attraction. What are you doing here and now? And the answer to that question lies in how you feel. Because if you're ornery, your point of attraction is not where you want it to be. We began talking about this vibrational disc that you are on, because it is spinning and law of attraction is bringing to it. There is a momentum that's bringing to you from all around what matches the vibrational frequency that you've got going on. So if you're ornery, you're gathering up ornery things. We began talking about this emotional scale, and we want you to think about the emotional flying disc of fear, or the emotional flying disc. It's not really flying, but it's spinning, and it's energy, and it's fast moving, and law of attraction is answering it. So you could be on a high flying disc that feels like love and appreciation, Or you could be on a low-flying disc that feels like fear. Or you could be on the Henri disc, which feels like Henri. And if you're wondering what disc you're on, and you're not really aware of what you're feeling, then just notice the people around you. Because if they're around you, they're on your disc. And if they're on your disc, it's your point of attraction, you see. Now, you could live in an Henri house and not be on the Henri disc. They'll badger you all the time. They'll ask you, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? Don't you know what's going on here? You need to get your head out of the clouds and start facing reality. That's what they'll tell you. Don't listen to them, though. And don't explain to them that they're on the Henri disc either. That never goes very well. But it is so helpful when you begin to care about what your point of attraction is. We talked just a bit ago about momentum, because momentum really is the most important aspect of deliberate creation that you could consciously contemplate. Because what momentum says is, once you get going in that direction, it's more likely that it will continue in that direction. So you want to be aware of the direction. You want to set the tone early. It is our encouragement that you go to bed tonight knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you have a potential of starting the momentum the way you want it to be. Because during your slumber, while you were asleep, the momentum of your point of attraction subsided. Isn't that nice to know? So you really do wake up with a clean slate. Now, it's not likely that you're going to wake up in the morning and think all new thoughts, because you say it's memory, we say it's sort of residual attraction. But if you will wake up in the morning deliberately intending to find thoughts that feel better than usual, and you will focus there for a bit of time, and you will do it the next morning, then the next morning, and the next morning, and the next morning, it is our promise to you that within 30 days, really less, you will have established different vibrational patterns at the beginning of your day. And what you'll begin to notice about the end of the second week is that your point of attraction is visibly different to you. You'll begin to notice that the relationships that you have with nearly everyone have shifted into an improvement, because your point of attraction has shifted into improvement. We have enjoyed this interaction more than any words that Esther could ever find could convey to you. And while we stand in a place of knowing about what this conversation today means to you and will mean to you in terms of what's unfolding next, our favorite part about this conversation is that again and again you came away from resistance and toward alignment all day long. The thing about vibrational shift and emotional alignment is that the evidence that you think you want is a day or two out. The evidence that we want you to want is what took place already, in that feeling of clarity, in that feeling of more eagerness. These are emotions that are manifestations, that are the first indications of the releasing of resistance. And we want you to know that with the hundreds of you that are here in this room, and the more than that around the world today who are listening in, we have never felt more energetic vibrational shift than what you all accomplished in this conversation. Will evidence support that? For sure. Do we want you to care about that? Not at all. It's the emotional evidence that we want you to crave, to be aware.